All right, I am standing on one of the largest and most unique greens in the world, but it's not on a golf course. All right, so hidden almost in plain sight, actually tucked away at the end of this little non-assuming cul-de-sac is Titleist fitting and golf ball testing facility called Manchester Lane here in Massachusetts. And as part of it is this green, and measuring in at 100 yards long, that is the size of a football field, by about 30 yards wide, is one of the purest, truest rolling greens you're gonna find anywhere. So you might be asking yourself, why a 100-yard long green? Well, on the other side of this facility, you see two doors, and inside there are Titleist testing robots, which they use to test the golf balls. And what they need here is a consistent landing surface that they can hit all different yardages. So no matter where they hit the ball on this green, they're able to measure how it lands, how it rolls out. They've got a perfectly consistent surface that runs the span of 100 yards. But to tell you a little bit more about it, here's Rich. Rich, this is a very unique green. What was the idea behind something like this?
That's a really good question. We had an opportunity. We wanted to understand the short game a little bit better, what happens on the green, what happens, you know, on an approach shot, and we were trying to define the short game. So what we did was we built a couple of tools for us to do that stuff. We built a first robot, what we called Spider, and then we built Spider 2. The robots were very repeatable, they were pretty cool looking, and they were hitting shots into the green up front and the green in the short game area. What we learned was that the robots were so repeatable that it was kind of beating up the green. So our results were varying. The other piece we learned was that the greens aren't really flat. They have undulations on them, and they're designed for that, right, for golf play. So we came up with this really cool idea to build a laboratory space to conduct short game testing. That's really where the genesis of this green came from. So we collaborated with the USGA and some local architects to design this space. We went through a few iterations. We had an irrigation system specifically designed this green. We bought some tools to help us maintain the green. We bought some tools that also could tell us, for lack of a better term, the physical properties of the green. How is the green behaving today? We went with different mowing heights. We looked at compaction. We looked at moisture content. So we could understand when we were out here testing, is the green the same as it was maybe the last time we tested? The biggest problem with this green is because it's so flat, it doesn't drain very well.
Right.
So one of the hurdles we have with it is we tend to get some fungus growing on here. We had kicked around the idea of a sub-air system like they do at Augusta National,
Yep.
but it was quite expensive. So
Especially this size.
yeah, this is a big green. It's 100 yards long and about 25 yards wide, and it does take an effort to maintain it.
Interesting things you wouldn't think of, but most greens naturally that we find have some sort of natural runoff because they're pitched in a direction. This is perfectly flat. Yet another reason why I said it's extremely unique. All right, so I told you it was one of the most unique golf greens in the world, but I tell you what, I think we got to get out of here before they fire the robots up. See you in the next video.